Guys, in this video, I'll be sharing Kylie's hair journey and letting you know all the products I used on her from birth, as well as give you some tips that will hopefully be able to help you and your little one. With being a first-time mom, it is definitely tough trying to figure everything out, but I'm hoping this video will help you avoid the mistakes I made so you can properly care for your little one's hair from the beginning, and hopefully you can avoid the bald spots completely. So Kylie was actually born with a head full of hair, but because everything was so new to me, I was so inclined to listen to everybody who said, just leave your baby's hair alone. They're so young, they really don't need anything. So I listened to their advice and started off by using Gentle Baby Wash and Shampoo by Burt's Bees. Then I would just use coconut oil to moisturize it afterwards. And that was pretty much the only thing I used on her hair until she was about 5 months. Now, what they were saying was true in a sense. Because they are so young, you really don't want to use a lot of product in their hair or their body, especially if it's not natural. But if there's one thing I do know about curly hair, is that it does require a lot of moisture in order to thrive, and just using baby shampoo and coconut oil was not keeping her hair moisturized at all. So I started noticing it was beginning to thin and break off to the point where she was pretty much completely bald in the back. I know you hear most naturals swearing by coconut oil, but in my opinion, it was a bit too greasy to use on her hair every day. Quite frankly, it just wasn't keeping her hair moisturized at all, so it always just felt really, really dry. By the time she was reaching 6 months, I got tired of staring at my baby's bald spot and just decided to take matters into my own hands, follow my own intuition, and use the knowledge I already know about natural hair and apply it on her even though she is just a baby. After researching different oils, I decided to go with jojoba oil and use that instead of coconut oil. Now, the reason I chose jojoba oil was because it's a light oil, in my opinion, that doesn't feel too greasy, and its molecular structure resembles our hair's natural oil, so it would be perfect for me to use on her hair and scalp daily without leaving it feeling super greasy and affecting the health of her scalp. It also has antibacterial properties and contains a lot of vitamins which can strengthen the hair and prevent hair loss and promote thickening. So when she was around 6 months old, I started massaging jojoba oil on her scalp every single day for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I also made sure I placed a satin or silk scarf anywhere she laid down to reduce any breakage. So personally, what I did is I just took a satin pillowcase and I literally just safety pinned it onto her crib sheet. There's enough safety pins on there to make sure this does not come off, so it does not become a hazard. But honestly, them sleeping on cotton sheets like this, it just creates a lot of friction. And the same thing goes for us as adults. It creates a lot of friction as you're tossing and turning at night. So I would literally see little tiny hairs from where she was moving around, and it was just pulling her hair out. So this right here, it creates a smooth surface, so it does not pull your hair out. They do sell, you know, baby bonnets, but honestly, as a grown person, we can barely keep our own bonnets on, so I just don't see how a toddler that's constantly moving around is going to be able to keep their bonnet on. So around this time, I scrapped the products that were labeled as both a baby wash and shampoo, because quite honestly, those weren't very moisturizing on the hair in my opinion. I mean, I personally don't have a product that I use on my body and my hair. So around this time, I began just co-washing her hair and ditching shampoo completely, because she really wasn't doing anything that was getting her hair dirty. So I'll be honest and say I did start using a Jane Carter Solution co-wash that I had on hand, and it really was making all the difference when it came to her hair being moisturized, but definitely did not do my research prior to find out if it contained any ingredients that could potentially be harmful to an infant. I just figured it was a natural hair product made of natural ingredients, and it's paraben free, so I just didn't see why I couldn't use it on her hair as well. I mean, is there really a difference between hair products from a kid's line compared to our own natural hair products, or was it all just a marketing technique to get parents to purchase those products? So long story short, after doing some research and reaching out to a brand, to discover there is a difference. So although nothing happened to Kylie while I was using that product, I did go ahead and switch over to products from a kid's line to be on the safe side. So I started using products from the Curls It's a Curl line. I was conditioning it every week and using shampoo every so often, about once every week and a half to 2 weeks, because again, she really just wasn't doing anything at this age that was getting her hair dirty, except for, you know, the occasional rolling around on the carpet. I did have a dog, so I would shampoo it afterwards. So to keep her hair moisturized, I would apply water if it wasn't a wash day. I would apply the moisturizer and then seal it in with the jojoba oil, and I would apply a little bit of the moisturizer every other day or so, or as needed, and then I was still doing the daily scalp massages with the jojoba oil. So I noticed a big improvement in her hair once I started using actual products to keep it moisturized. Aside from the jojoba oil, her hair was getting longer, it was getting a lot thicker, and in May I cut off around 2 inches off the top of her hair because she had a little donking situation going on, which kind of made her head look a little long. So I wanted everything to grow in nice and evenly, so that really made a difference when it came to the appearance of her hair. Towards the end of June, I started incorporating the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Kids Curling Buttercream into her regimen. So I would apply a little bit of water if it wasn't a wash day, the Curls Moisturizer, the Shea Moisture Cream, and then the jojoba oil to seal everything in. And I found that layering products really did a great job in keeping the hair moisturized. I remained consistent with the regimen for a few months until I ran out of the Curls products and the jojoba oil. So I just remained consistent with that regimen, and I noticed her hair was getting thicker and longer. Others probably couldn't notice it because she has really tight coils and her shrinkage is really bad, but pictures don't lie. That's why it's always important to take pictures throughout any kind of journey that you have. And I pretty much just use my fingers to detangle and style her hair. I would rarely use combs or brushes aside from the occasional little afro that she would rock, and I never ever put her hair into a ponytail. I didn't want to put a lot of stress on her hair and a lot of tension and have it pulling on her edges. So even though it was long enough for me to do so, I just avoided ponytails completely. So I did try using avocado oil in place of the jojoba oil, and I did so for about a month or so, but I felt it was a little bit too greasy, so I did switch back to jojoba oil. And as she started walking and moving around, I started shampooing her hair once a week since she just always found a way to get dirt or food in her hair, and I would use the conditioner between shampoos if I needed to rinse or clean any food out of her hair. So once I ran through the bottle of the Curls Moisturizer and the shampoo and conditioner, I did start using the Shea Moisture Moisturizing Spray, and now that she is a little bit older, she's about 1.5 years, I do feel a little bit more comfortable with using a product that isn't from a kid's line. So I did start using the shampoo and conditioner from the DevaCurl Decadence line, and I also began massaging an old blend from a small black owned business called Parker J's onto her edges once a week. Now if you'd like to see her current wash day and moisturizing regimen, click the link below to check out the full tutorial. Up until now, I pretty much don't style her hair in ponytails. I just use my fingers to style her little curls, but since her hair is getting long and is so tightly coiled, it is beginning to get a lot of single strand knots. So I am gonna have to start keeping it braided and stretched in order to prevent these single strand knots and to keep her hair from getting too tangled. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and were able to take something from it, whether you're a new mom or you're just completely lost when it comes to caring for your curly kids' hair. Hopefully this video helped you out. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up so more people can find it. Check the description box for all the product details, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and check out the other videos I have on hair care. Follow me on Instagram at AngelieChia and connect with me if you have any more questions on this subject. And if I could do things all over again, I would definitely have started using a baby conditioner from birth and would only probably use shampoo once every 2 weeks or so, because again, they really don't do anything to get their hair dirty at that age. And I would definitely moisturize with jojoba oil for the first few months. Now I'd probably introduce actual baby stylers and moisturizers as early as 2 or 3 months, depending on how much hair the baby has at the time. And of course, I would lay the baby on a satin or silk sheet or scarf.